just like this.
Hi guys, how's the audio? Do we have an echo? I tried to fix everything today. Camera should look a little bit better. Everything should be a little bit better. Let me put that right there. What happened to my camera? What's going on? Oh, I messed my audio, didn't I? When I did this, look at this. Come on! I'll be right back.
Okay, let's see, what's the problem?
I'm having technical difficulties, as per usual.
Work.
No, not that. That's the microphone, you coops.
You said you just were having audio issues.
I know. I think we're good. Hold on. Ow! I'm getting beat up.
You always definitely work.
Alright.
Get over there.
You didn't see nothing, okay? You didn't see nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing to see there. Or here. No. What's happening?
Alright, sorry. I can't help it. Be ridiculous at times. I know it's
Calm down.
It's a
Calm
thing.
down. Calm down.
I can't help it.
Calm down.
Be ridiculous at times. I know it's
Calm down.
I ordered better lights, so this camera issue shan't be It's an earthquake in here apparently. No. 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 There we go. I don't know, man. Turn off your phone for the stream. Done. It's turned off.
I'm sorry.
McCarthyism sounds like a religion. It kind of does. You're right. I don't know why I'm having some issues now. This is so frustrating to me. Jay, it's fine, bud.
I'm gonna turn off
I'm just gonna sit here and cry instead of teaching because let's go defaults. There we go. We'll start in like 30 seconds.
You okay? You okay?
No. I'm annoyed.
You having a bad day?
Yeah, I don't know, like I got an idea. Hold your horses, everyone. Aha! Let's try this. Ready?
Who?
Let's try something here. Let's try something here, and then we're gonna start. Spencer, time me. I got like 30. This is not what I wanted. I got like give me 30 seconds of technical stuff, and then we'll start. Everything was working perfect until I blew it. I blew it.
Toaster?
I blew it. I blew it. All right, here we go. 30 seconds on the counter, which probably is like 20 seconds now. So I got new lights coming. Hopefully this issue doesn't happen anymore. All right, there we go. Camera's not available. Of course it's not available because here it is. All right, whatever. I'm going. We're going forward. It is what it is, and that's all that it is. And it's Papa the Sailor Man. All right, how's the audio? Does everything sound good? What do we got going on here? I want to hear my own audio here. Yeah, it's good. All right, here we go. So today what we're going to be doing is, how's everyone doing in chat, by the way? Mark, how are the mods? Give me a good sentence as to how the mods are abusing, and then we can have a serious conversation because I have not witnessed it. Spencer is spamming delete his powers. All right. Spencer's spamming because I asked him to do a countdown. Relax. Oh, hi, Ali Gilroy. That's good. Listen, we're going to get going today. We're going to get started, and then at the end, so I'm going to shut down the chat, and then we're going to re-bring in the chat at the end, and yeah, so that's how it's going to work. There we go. So, today what we're going to do is we're going to be learning about the Red Scare, right? McCarthyism and Red Scare, and specifically with the 1950s. There were 2 Red Scares in the United States. Now, what is a Red Scare? A Red Scare is a fear of communism. Not abroad so much as a fear of communism here in the United States. Because communism, especially back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, before people realized how bad communism could be with the Soviet Union and things like it. Today, I feel like a lot of people realize the flaws of communism. But back then, they didn't. And a lot of poor people, a lot of working class people, a lot of factory workers thought that communism could be a good option for them. And so a lot of Americans were scared that communism would grow within the United States, and the people of the United States, since we are a democracy, would ultimately turn this country communist and get away from freedom. Remember, what is communism? Communism isn't just a system where all people are treated equally and all people, the money is treated equally, right? Take money from the rich, spread it evenly among the people. But communism is also a system where the government controls everything, right? The government controls all businesses. The government makes all the decisions. Private people and private businesses don't make decisions in a communist country. So think of it like a shoe company, like Nike or Adidas. Is that what the cool kids are? Hey, Jay, is that what the cool kids are wearing nowadays? Adidas? He has no clue. So it's... in a communist system, there wouldn't be Adidas or Nike. There would be a government issue shoe, and you would just get what the government issues, which is, it'd be like 6 different colors, and you would have to pick that color shoe. And so this is kind of a crazy idea, but people in America are scared that their freedoms. You guys have seen the flags, "Don't tread on me" with the snake, right? That's from the American Revolution. What that's referring to is don't step on my freedoms as an American, right? If you do, I'm going to fight back. Because I'm a rattlesnake, and if you step on my freedom, boom, I'm going to bite you, right? So that's what that "Don't Tread on Me" flag really represents. It represents don't mess with our freedom here in America. And we love our freedom in the United States. And the Red Scare is scary about that. So in World War I, there was the first Red Scare. It was right after World War I, right when the communists took over in Russia. And the Soviet Union is a brand new country, and everyone realizes, oh my God, communism took over. There was a revolution in Russia, communists won, and there was a massive Red Scare, like in the late teens and early 1920s. But then it kind of died down, whatever. World War II happens, and now the late 40s come, and there's a second Red Scare, right? And the Red Scare really starts, and we talked briefly about this last week, with the Rosenbergs. Ethel and Julius Rosenberg were Soviet spies who basically sold nuclear secrets to the Soviet Union so that they could steal our nuclear secrets on how to build an atomic bomb during the Manhattan Project during World War II. And at first, America, we had the nuke, we developed it in 1945, and we were like, it's going to take the Soviets at least 10 years to develop the nuke. And it took them 3 years because they were spying, stealing secrets. Once it got out that the Soviets had stealing secrets from us, and we knew it, right? We were like, oh my God, these people, like there's actual hard evidence that they stole our stuff. A second Red Scare started. It was like, well, are Ethel and Julius Rosenberg the only ones, or are there other Soviet spies in this country? There are other communists trying to hurt the United States and take down our freedom and create a communist country. And then there's a senator called Joseph McCarthy, which is what McCarthyism is all about. And he's going to take the Red Scare a step further. And that's where today's lesson starts. So, let's move giant Mr. Voelger to this side. There we go. Just his marvelous head. The Red Scare, what does it refer to? Red referring to communism. Scare referring to how communism was seen as scary because it could take away the Western freedoms that capitalism offered. We're gonna have another heart to heart here, right? Heart to heart time. Heart to heart time. I gotta be big for the heart to hearts. Here we go. All right, heart to heart time. You ready? Capitalism isn't always great. Capitalism hurts a lot of people. It's a race, right? It's about competition. And of course, you're going to have winners that become millionaires. And of course, you're going to have losers that become homeless and poor and suffer. Right now, with this whole COVID outbreak, you see how capitalism cannot be a great thing. This is why our hospitals are not necessarily prepared and things like that. Because when you let big business make all decisions, they don't always make decisions best for the people. But capitalism does provide choice and freedom. And that's what we love here in America. And that concludes our heart to heart. And now I gotta shrink myself. Shrinking down. Whoa! Whoa! There we are. All right. During the Red Scare, different committees started to form to fight against communists. Pretty awesome. House Committee on Un-American Activities. That's a scary name, isn't it? I mean, listen to the way that sounds. House Committee on Un-American Activities. Like, I don't know about that. Formed in 1838, investigated activities by fascists, Nazis, and communists. Held highly publicized hearings on government, armed forces, unions, education, science, newspapers, Hollywood, etc.
Wait, Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood. Because they thought that, like, Hollywood actors would actually, like, the directors would be pushing Hollywood movies to like, kind of push, communist mentality, and it would pollute the public by watching these Hollywood movies, and communism would spread. And so it was kind of a scary thing. And what they would do is they would say, do we have soldiers in the military who are communists? We got to get them out. Do we have labor unions at factories who are communists? We got to get them out. Do we have teachers who were teaching about communism, pushing communism on their students? Got to get them out. Right? So all of this stuff is definitely dangerous for and the committee is the House Committee on Un-American Activities, which, by the way, J.K. Rowling in that book she wrote, that little about that wee wizard, right? Harry Potter. Well, Professor Umbridge kind of represents the House Committee on Un-American Activities. If you remember in that book with Professor Umbridge, she kind of was investigating the wizards that were against the Ministry of Magic, and they were deemed evil. And that's kind of the same thing that's happening with this House Un-American Activity. They're saying you're evil because you're un-American, when you know as well as I do, there's no such thing as a real American. We're all Americans, right? You can't fit us into a stereotype. All right, here we go. Federal Employee Loyalty Review Program. Also sounds pretty scary. What does that mean? Federal Employee Loyalty? Like, I don't know about you, but I have loyalty, like, to my family. But, like, thinking that, like, my federal employee loyalty is kind of creepy. Created by President Truman because of concerns of communist infiltration of the government, FBI investigated federal employees for signs of disloyalty. Around 3,000 employees were dismissed or resigned after the investigations. That's a nice way of saying fired. Attorney General compiled a list of totalitarian, fascist, and subversive organizations. Many people associated with organizations on this list were harassed or fired from their jobs. Pretty crazy. And now we lead to one Joseph McCarthy. Although the Red Scare started before him, many historians consider Senator Joseph McCarthy to be its personification. Literally, when the Red Scare was happening, this senator, Joseph McCarthy, gets elected to Congress, and he gets elected as on this idea that he's going to personally fight against all these communists in America. And he sells it, and he gets everyone worked up. And today we're going to look at a whole bunch of political cartoons about one Joseph McCarthy. He rose to prominence in the early 1950s as an anti-communist. McCarthyism, it's a campaign against alleged communists in the United States government and other institutions carried out by Senator Joseph McCarthy. So it's not a religion. McCarthyism is this movement of people that fight against communists in America. And it sounds good, right? I mean, who wants a bunch of communists hanging out in the country? But it goes overboard, and we're going to look at that right now. So let's go to my second little slideshow. And I'm gonna relocate to this side of the table. There we go. There we are. Hi. How's my audio so far? Just checking stuff. Good. Gonna lower the music a tiny bit. All right, here we go. So you mean I'm supposed to stand on that? So you can see here. Let's let me exit out. Let's go to the front. There we go. So Joseph McCarthy sells America on this idea that communism is terrible and that it's dangerous. And a lot of people have been ignoring communism. They're like, oh, communism's not that bad. And so political cartoons like this kind of show the fear that McCarthy was talking about, right? So he was saying that people claim that communism isn't that bad, but look at this snake. Look at this cartoon, right? Look at that cartoon. It says there's a giant killer snake, and it says communist conspiracy. So that giant killer snake represents communism in America. And people are saying, oh, it's a witch hunt. Oh, you're seeing things. The communism's not that bad. Oh, it's a red herring, meaning it's not really it's not really a problem. It just looks like a problem. And of course, this cartoon is showing that no, I'm not literally there's a tag that says you're just seeing things, right? My finger, see right there? You're just seeing things, and it's on a giant snake. That is what I'm seeing. So it is a real threat, according to Joseph McCarthy. And that's what this cartoon represents, that it is a real threat. And here, this is the idea of McCarthyism, right? You're going to take the government, Uncle Sam, who looks very strong in this picture, and he's going to be shaking up the American government employees. And what does he want to do? He wants to shake it up because he wants to weed out the communists, right? Get the communists out of government jobs. Now, this cartoon, again, I think Joseph McCarthy would support, right? But if you look here, it says all the communists are falling out. But what we now know in the year 2020 is that more than just communists fell out. Yes, they caught some actual communists working in our government. That is true. But also, a lot of innocent people got caught up. They got accused of being communists. And they lost their job and their lives were ruined because of this McCarthyism. So it's another cool... Look at his face. I love it. I wish I looked like that. How cool of a social studies teacher would I be if I literally looked like Uncle Sam? Like I had to, not the KFC guy. We're not talking about fried chicken. We're talking about Uncle Sam. You know what? When we get back to school, I'm gonna start wearing American flag clothes. That's it. It's official. JJ, tell Mom to order me American flag pants.
Okay, I also got a wig and a fake.
I'm not getting a wig. I'm gonna grow like Uncle Sam hair.
You are bald.
I realize I'm bald, but look at the receding hairline right here. Do you see it? That's a receding hairline. I could do something like that. All right, moving on. All right, one of the issues that people who McCarthy had is once McCarthy became really popular, here is a political cartoon of Dwight D. Eisenhower on the left and of Joseph McCarthy sitting next to him, like on the little kid chair. And this is the president's office. And once McCarthy became so popular, he really had a lot of influence in government, right? A lot of people feared that McCarthy was actually telling President Eisenhower how he should act about his foreign policy, about national issues, which are these things on his desk right here, okay? And notice it's McCarthy that has the pen because he's the one calling the shots. And if you would say, that's ridiculous, Mr. Voelger, the president's the one who calls the shots. Well, Joseph McCarthy was super popular. And if you came out against him, if you said, nah, Senator McCarthy, you need to shush it. You need to go sit down. You're going crazy. He could accuse you of being a communist. Why is he trying to shush me? It's because he's scared. He says that I'm overreacting, but maybe it's because he's a communist and he doesn't want us to find out the truth. And so everyone was kind of scared to get upset. And so this gave Joseph McCarthy a lot of power. There we go. Now, this is the fear of McCarthyism right here. This is a fabulous political cartoon. It's the hand. If some of you, what is that? Who's that the hand of, JJ?
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty is correct. And the fire that eternally burns represents our freedom, right? Our freedom burns bright forever. It's forever. It's eternal because no one can take away our freedoms. But here, people are scared of communism. And people are like, all right, here's Joseph McCarthy. He's scared that communists are taking over. So he's creating the House Un-American Activities Committee. And he's accusing people of being communists. And he's firing them. And he's ruining their lives. They're literally throwing people in jail for believing to be communists. And so what this cartoon is showing is that the hysteria that we're fighting, this hysteria, this fear of communism, is going to cause America to actually put out their own freedoms, right? Put out the fire, the flame. That's a good fire, but yet this guy's freaking out, and so he's going to put out the fire. So McCarthy is actually going to take people's freedoms away, fighting communism, because he's scared communism is going to get rid of his freedom. Like, what? Let me say that one more time because it's confusing. Joseph McCarthy is scared that communism is going to destroy the freedom in America, so he has to fight it. And by fighting it, he ultimately takes away people's freedoms. So it makes no sense. He's doing the exact thing that he's scared that is going to happen. And it's really important that you need to know that. This is what hysteria does, right? When people are scared, like they're scared a monster's going to attack, so they almost make up a monster in their head and then act like it attacks. And it's almost like they fulfill their own fear. And that's what Joseph McCarthy does. Pretty scary stuff. And as you can see, he's going to accuse anyone of communism. So he accuses Hollywood actors. He accuses famous business leaders and famous union leaders and workers, factory workers. He accuses other senators and government leaders and generals and soldiers and people in the White House working under the president. He accuses so many people that eventually he starts over-accusing, and he accuses so many people that he ultimately corners himself, meaning that once he accuses different people where everyone knows is ridiculous, people start to lose faith in Joseph McCarthy. And now he kind of looks like he's this bad guy, and McCarthyism is bad, where it started out good, right? Try to end communism, try to fight against it. But because he accused too many people, everyone started to realize that this guy's a kook. He's a nut. He's a woo-hoo, crazy. And no one's going to listen to him anymore. One of my favorite cartoons, this is a famous one. This is, It's Okay. And look at him. He's driving over all these people in the street, which is funny back when this was made in 1947, I believe this was. But not funny today because terrorism has done this, right? Terrorism has used cars to drive into crowds in the 2000s. And so it's kind of lost its funniness because this has really happened today. But back then, no one ever did this. And so it wasn't really, it was more appropriate to make a cartoon like this back then. So here you have Joseph McCarthy in the car. And then on the trunk of the car, it says Committee on Un-American Activities. And they're just driving over people, right? They're just running people over, JJ. It's not good. You don't want to be in that street. You do not want to be in that street. But it's okay. It's okay that he's running over all these innocent Americans because they're hunting communists. Think of that for a second, right? They're allowed to hurt average good Americans because they're hunting communists. Obviously, that's not true. This artist who made this political cartoon is against Joseph McCarthy. He thinks what Joseph McCarthy is doing is wrong, and he made a sarcastic cartoon showing how stupid Joseph McCarthy is. Boom, take that to the bank, y'all. All right, I have now one of the things that Joseph McCarthy did that was really so bad is in his House Un-American Activities Committee, they would have hearings where they would accuse people of communists. And he would present evidence, okay? I can prove that you're a communist because... And the evidence he provided was often bogus. Like, it was the stupidest evidence. He would have, like, a spray painting on a picket fence that, Jeremy here. Come here, Jeremy. Come here, my resident communist. Come here, communist. Right? He would say that this one right here is a communist. And, whoa, you're going to fall.
Yeah,
all right, have a seat. Sit next to me. All right. So he would accuse... Sir, you're going to be in my video now. You're a communist, and his evidence would be, whoa, I got evidence here. Hold on. Let me get it. I'm going to present evidence number 1 of why Jeremy here is a communist. Ready? You ready? I was working in the house yesterday, and I noticed a piece of paper on the floor, and look, everyone, look. This is what I found in the house. Read it. Look what I found. That's evidence that he's a communist. Case proven.
I can tell you what my evidence that McCarthy's dumb.
That's now we know he's a communist. He just ripped it up. The point is this. The point is that he would make up the evidence. He literally would find like flyers that said people were communists. Or he would say, you know, Joe said that he was a communist, but Joe could be lying. There was no good evidence. And so here in this cartoon, there's Joseph McCarthy sweating, and he says, here I have a photo. Here in my hand is evidence. I have a photo, and it's a doctored photo, meaning that it was photoshopped before Photoshop existed, so they did it with other ways. And a faked letter. Here's a letter saying that he's communist, but it was all fake evidence. Joseph McCarthy was using anything he had to accuse people. And often he accused people who just didn't like him, which is not good. You mean I'm supposed to stand on that? So this is another really good cartoon here. You got my son's creepy eyeball sticking. Get in here.
Hey.
Here we go. The elephant represents American republicanism, right? Because Republicans are represented by elephants and Democrats are represented by donkeys. And so here with the Eisenhower administration, he's an elephant. And they're saying, hey, President Eisenhower, Republicans in America, you should listen to McCarthy because McCarthy's a Republican. And look, you should go stand on that. He has a good foundation, this McCarthy. But according to this artist, does he really think he has a good foundation? Jay, does that look like a good foundation to you? What?
No, it's just some tar buckets and a barrel.
It's just some tar buckets and a barrel. And he's right. That's not a good foundation. So again, political cartoonist, the artist, is being sarcastic. Often what you see and what they say, it's opposite. And you need to know that when you're looking at cartoons. And if you look down here, it says 1950 in the corner, which is pretty cool because this is a primary source. Is that it? We're done? Oh, we're done. We're done. All right, let's go back here. So what happened to Joseph McCarthy? This is going to be I'm going to move me to over here. Whoop.
And me.
Yeah, see him right there? See him? We're going to cut him out. No one wants him in the video. All right, what happened to McCarthy? For the first time, the American public was able to see Joe McCarthy bully witnesses, make false accusations, and act in a reckless manner. Public opinion quickly turned against him. He was censored by the Senate in 1954, and as a result, lost all of his power and his influence. And he actually died a few years later, I believe. I'm not sure. Let's investigate this. When did good old Joe McCarthy die, huh?
Is that sarcasm?
When did Joe McCarthy die? He died look at this, a couple years later, right? And what did he die from? Let's see. He continued to speak against communism and socialism until his death at the age of 48. So he died young. At Bethesda Naval Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, his death certificate listed the cause of death as hepatitis. So, yeah. So he died really young. I mean, 48 is really young to be kind of hitting the can and croaking. And by the way, Alex, I did look at your link, and this is it, and I think it's pretty rad. Pretty happy. I kind of scrolled through it. I'm going to look at it. Maybe I'll use it in a lesson coming up. Next week, we have a whole bunch of Vietnam lessons, so it's pretty cool. I'm going to open the chat now because our lesson of the day is done, and then we're going to talk about the question of the day. So the chat is now open.
Yay.
Yay, chat. You can chat now. Chat away, you chatters. Hello. Chat away.
Yes.
Chat away. Waiting for you to chat. Chat. Oops. Oh. Yeah, you are chatting. All right, any questions real quick? I love you, Miss Vogue. Please open a Minecraft server. Rob, you're getting a little obsessive. How many people are actually interested in this Minecraft server? Because it'll just be you and me and Rob and my son, and that would be awkward. Let's not do that. Are there any questions on Joseph McCarthy or the Red Scare before I get into my question of the day? By the way, next week I was thinking about doing a project, not questions of the day. Tell me if you think that's a good idea or not. I think that's a pretty rad idea. It would be a fun project, and that you guys can either make PowerPoints or you can make a video, and then we could share it on stream if I have your parental permission. I thought that would be a good idea. Yesterday, mods were abusing their powers by spamming. When I pointed them out, I was muted. All right, Mark, I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, sir. Everyone leave a like or fall off a bike. That's dangerous, Derek. Don't fall off a bike. That's horrible. Jeremy leaving tribal was a stupid move. Oh, you're obsessed with survival. I thought you were talking about this Jeremy. You weren't.
Wait, was he?
I don't like the question of the day. I always forget to do it, Delaney. Well, you could wait till the end of the week and do them all at the same time. That's fine. But I think we're going to do a cool project. I was thinking about this. Check this out. I'll show you what I'm thinking. A little advanced knowledge. Hold on. Where is my question today? Hold on. Like my Resident Evil background, y'all. Where's my question of the day? Here we are. Here we got it. All right. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. There we go. All right. So here we go. You guys ready? I was thinking about doing like, let's say, Cold War research projects, kind of. I don't know. Red Scare. We could do Red Scare Web Quest. I know you guys aren't big fans of Web Quest. Dad. One sec. So if we do the Cold War research project, right?
I have an idea.
One sec. Here we go. So what you would do here is you would pick events and policies for research, right? Berlin blockade, airlift, space race, arms race, Cuban Missile Crisis, which we'll talk about next week, Korean War, rise and fall of Berlin War, NATO, Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, Bay of Pigs, we'll talk about that next week, espionage, which is spies, the Yalta and Potsdam, we'll talk about that in like 2 weeks, SALT 1, SALT 2, 2 weeks, McCarthyism, we talked about that today, Truman Doctrine and Marshall Plan, we talked about that last week. And so what you would have to do is you would have to basically talk about what happened, did the event increase or decrease tensions, like you would do all this stuff, right? And then you can make a PowerPoint presentation or a video, all right? I gave you some research questions that you can answer, or not answer here, but you would answer in your PowerPoint or your video, and then you would send it in, and if you have a video with you on it, and your parent gives me the okay, I can show it live on stream, and it could be like a fun thing that we do. Kind of get you guys more in it. But it would be your choice. So if you wanted to do a Google slide presentation, you could do that. If you wanted to do a video, you could do that. I would leave it open to you guys. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. That's cool. Let's go back to our question of the day, though. Question of the day.
I thought you were doing question of the day.
We're doing it for today. We're doing a question of the day for today. You know it. Let's go here into our Hoogle classroom.
Did you say Poogle?
I said Hoogle. I didn't say Poogle. That would be. No one says Poogle. That's not
No
even a
one
real.
says
That's not even a real
Hoogle.
word.
No one even says Hoogle.
I say
Hoogle's
Hoogle.
out. What?
I say Hoogle. All right, Friday's question of the day. Is it worth taking away people's freedoms in order to protect America? Question mark. Think of the fight against. Whoa. Hit the spell cap on that. Against terrorism and airport security.
Typo.
Right?
Typo.
Hold on, Jay. Relax. Think of the fight against terrorism and airport security. How much freedom should we be willing to give up in order to be safe?
That's it.
Right? So that's the question of the day. It's an opinion question. Is it worth taking away people's freedoms in order to protect America? And the reason why I'm asking it like this is because of Joseph McCarthy. Right? Right? McCarthy did this to fight communism. And the reason why I'm talking about terrorism too is because today it kind of relates, and we're not so scared of communists, but we are scared of communists. We're not scared of communists. We are scared of terrorists. And terrorism, we often give a lot of our freedoms up to fight terrorism. Airport security. Now you have to we have people want to do background checks on owning firearms and things like that. And a lot of different things that we do kind of do that. The government can they tap in, listen to us if they believe that could be a terrorist and things like that. So that's question of the day, pretty simple one. Are there any questions before we conclude the lesson for today?
Can I say something?
What do you? My son wants to say something. No, you're not allowed to say. What do you want to say? This is dangerous.
Press S to pay respect to school.
All right, get out of here. Press S to pay respect to school. That's what my son said. So there you go. There you go. I'm waiting for any questions on the lesson in chat. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm only going to be on for about another minute. So please let me know. No.
Wow, that worked.
Yeah, a lot of F's. We wanted S, but that's cool. That's cool. That's
cool.
Shh. What does F even stand for?
What does that stand
Anyone
for?
right? Your child is a communist spy. Thank you, Christian. That makes me feel much better inside. What would you answer be, Mr. Voelger, for the question of the day? I would say that it's never. This is what I would say. I would say it's never good to lose freedoms when trying to protect ourselves, but we need to lose some freedoms because obviously freedom doesn't matter if you're not safe. So I think losing a small degree of freedom in order to protect yourself is a smart thing to do. But it can easily go too far, and so we have to be careful not to lose all of our freedoms trying to protect ourselves. But in my opinion, it is good to lose some freedoms to keep yourself safe. That's what I would say, Allie. Hope that answered your question.
Oh, F is to play respect.
Did you check Vietnam Music Project? I did. I talked to my wife. I think what we're going to do for the Vietnam music is I'm going to have a live stream that is only live, and I'm not going to repost it after. And if you miss the live stream, you'll miss it. This way I can play copyrighted music on the live stream for our lesson, and we could talk all about it. And then, obviously, if you miss it, maybe you missed it. So that I'm thinking about doing that. Because right now we have 51 people watching. I think it would be a cool thing to get us. It's a really fun lesson. And that's what I'm thinking about doing. No. Get. Yes, Jeremy would play. Can I marry your son, Sophia? He's too young. He's 9. He's 9.
I was going to delete that message.
You knock it off. Mr. Voelger, you're not being helpful. You're just skipping over my messages. I'm trying to stay on topic, Techno Charmander.
Yeah, I'll play Minecraft with Bob.
The reason why you're being muted is because you're off topic. Don't be off topic. Talk about social studies and you won't be muted.
Or me.
There's tip number 1 for you. I support the mods.
What about me?
Do you want to help me break international law? No, Keebler. Robert, if he wants to, when he's 18, that's up to him. Why did Tyson get voted out again? I don't know. I love that guy. Who knows? Ryan Standard, he wasn't off topic. Then why did he get muted? Oh, Nightbot muted him. I don't know. Can we fix ask Spencer? Spencer's the one, or Steven's the one who deals with the Nightbot. Maybe we can tweak their thing. Again, it's up to him, Sophia. Same thing I said to Robert. If he turns 18 and he wants to, go for it. Though you'll be like an old lady by then, and I'll be like, why are you marrying that old bag? You should marry someone your own age. Ali Gilroy, is there going to be any other work other than the question of the week? This week, no. But next week, if we do our project that I kind of just went over, there won't be questions of the week. There'll just be the project. All right? And so I'll introduce the project on Monday, and then I'll talk about it every day, and then it'll be like due on Friday. So there's that. I hope that answered your question, Allie. Charmander, you're still not unmuted, but I see your text. Am I the only one seeing your text here? What's happening? Or is it Robert Sims?
Bum, bum.
Let's see. All right, Keebler, let's see why you're getting deleted here. Rise Up Gamers, off topic. Gamers, let Tarzan fare them out. Yeah, again, off topic. I'm only 5 years older. That's like a lot. No, I'm just, yeah, I guess that's true. You're right. I guess you're not that much older.
No, that
Have a good weekend, Mr. Voelger. I will. Thank you, Delaney Kleiman.
One actually nice comment, right?
Techno Charmander's Mark. Robert Sims deleted by Nightbot. Alright, so let's see what Robert Sims just posted here. Yeah, I have my accounts off topic. So again, Interpol is investigating me is off topic, which is why you are being timed out. So just be aware of that.
Your phone's over there.
That would be funny if it was Spencer's alt account. Anyway, all right, so if there's no other questions on the lesson, I'm going to go and enjoy. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Get out and do some yard work, like play outside. Don't be locked up in your house, because then you'll turn into like a troll, and no one likes trolls. Watch the show Troll Hunter on Netflix. No one likes them.
We should watch.
Is Period 9 doing Google Meets? We tried to do one yesterday. No one showed up, Kaylee White. But I guess we could do one. Not today, though, because today we're doing, today at 3 p.m. Shh. Today at 3 p.m. we're doing our live, our weekly wrap-up video. So make sure you can check that out on the stream. So if we want, we could do, if you just have to remind me to do it Monday, and I'll do Period 9 Google Meet Monday. That would be crazy, Keebler. We don't want to do that. Bye, Mr. Voelger. Bye, Allie. It's good to see you guys. So that's the end of the stream for today. Bye.
Bye. Oh.
Say it louder. Say it louder. Say it louder.
Oh my gosh, what?
Oh.
All right.
All right, goodbye.